One of the best ways to build confidence in the squat is to pick a challenging weight, a weight that is, I don't know, probably somewhere around your 3 rep max or maybe your 4 rep max, not that long ago maybe, and you do a bunch of doubles with it. I think this is a really great method for trying to get through some numbers. I think a lot of the time, especially depending on your training environment, I mean, you really have to dig deep because I always train alone, and if you're in a really good environment where you can get pumped up and you have, other people kind of supporting you and you're doing what you're doing, it does make a big difference. But what I'll say is that you gotta get your, I don't know, this is the hard part because one of the biggest challenge I have is that I get kind of locked in on certain weights like 3 plates, 315, 365, 385, 405. Even with the deadlift, even with the bench, 225, 275. 285. These numbers get stuck in my head. I don't know if maybe in my head, but just kind of in my gut, and I feel like that it basically kind of rides up my skin, or it kind of hovers over my head, and it basically makes me nervous. And sometimes it's like hit or miss with how it's going to affect me psychologically, but mainly with the squat is sometimes, when I'm squatting, 350 or somewhere around that range in the mid 300s, the weight will feel light or it'll feel good. Other times I'll unrack it and it just weighs like too much and it's going to crush me, and I almost panic. And sometimes when I squat trying to work up to heavy weights, it's a big mind game. And kind of what I've come to the conclusion, and on my own training, what I've discovered, because I don't really follow any particular training plan, is I try to find these numbers that I have sort of challenges at, where I have issues with, and I just try to train myself to basically get better at a weight that's just a little bit below it, because 365 is one of those numbers for me on the squat, and it's best for me to kind of deal with that weight by simply training under that weight. So like 345 for lots of triples, or even or sets of 5 with 320. I think that's a really important part. I talked about the Blaine Sumner article in a few videos, not that long ago, a few videos ago, and it's just having total confidence under the bar, being totally aggressive. I mean, having your music loud. I mean, just something that kind of basically not make it so that you don't get distracted by the fear, because that's what it really comes down to: the fear of failing, the fear of getting hurt, the fear of something. And I'll tell you now that, there's lots of different things you can do to do this. And one of the things I've done recently was simply using kilo plates and not calculating the weight. I end up doing more. But now I'm at a point where I actually need to know my numbers. And what I found is simply pick a weight that's maybe 5 to 10% underneath sort of an anchor weight, like a scary weight, and do that a bunch of times for lots of sets of triples and doubles, or even sets of 4. So anyways, that's my video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on the next video.